Thank you for staying with us. Controversy has involved the purported suspension of the Ondo State Chairman of the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, Fatai Adams, as the PDP National Working Committee insists that Adams remains the chairman of the Ondo State Chapter of the PDP. We have a guest to speak on it. He's the State Publicity Secretary, Kennedy Pirete. Thank you very much, Kennedy, for giving us your time. Paint us a picture. Is it a purported suspension? The NWC says he's not suspended. He remains the chairman. You say in a statement you released that his suspension stands. What is going on? What are these anti-party activities as well that the chairman is accused of?
Well, thanks for having me this evening on this program. Let me say that the suspension, is born out of constitutional provisions. That's our own constitution, PDP Constitution, 2017 as amended. We didn't just wake up to suspending. It was based on a series of activities that we have kept up on, and we also found out that it was a necessary action if the PDP is to, be repositioned of elections that are ahead of us. First, the by-election and the general election, that is for governorship election, which is standalone election, November this year. So the activities of the chairman, most of them we can just categorize as anti-party, because if the PDP State Working Committee takes a decision and the state chairman on his own does something to the contrary, especially when we think it is to the advantage of the opposition party, that is the party that is ruling, and we think, beyond.
Well, where does this controversy leave the ordinary member of the PDP who may not have such powers as to what happens with the suspension of a state chairman? The national body is saying he remains the chairman. The state body is saying no, he is not. So who should the people listen to, and what could be the implication of this controversy for the stability of the party? You do need a chairman, don't you?
Now, the truth of the matter is that if you had Ondo State, you would have known that the ranks of the PDP has, been there's been kind of jubilation, a lot of jubilation and celebration over the removal of this chairman. And I can tell you for free that even though there are attempts to intervene in this matter, it's almost resolved, that is gone. And the people that you call ordinary people are happy, that the PDP people are happy.
Sorry to interject again. You said almost resolved, but the person in question, Mr. Adams, is saying he remains the chairman, and that every person that's trying to suspend him is politically motivated. So if you have a chairman who says he remains on sit, you're saying he is not.
Let me tell you, man, that today, for example, the State Working Committee had taken possession of the State Secretariat. We are written to police, we are written to the SSS, and they were there. And the chairman wasn't there. We are taking physical possession of the place. And let me also tell you that because what we are doing is in accordance with our position, and I replied the National Working Committee, especially the National Public Secretary, who's from Ondo State, that he does not know what is happening in Ondo State, that if he did, will not issue the kind of statement that he issued. So the people are happy with us, the PDP people are happy, and by tomorrow, by the grace of God, the State Executive Committee is going to approve, is going to confirm the Deputy Chairman as acting chairman of the party. So,
all right, but sorry to interrupt again. I'm really sorry to interrupt, but it's imperative that you clarify certain issues. You issued a statement that Mr. Adams is supposed to appear before the State Disciplinary Committee to maybe defend himself, if I'm correct. So if you are still, I mean, he does have that opportunity still by your constitution, right? To defend himself. So if that opportunity is still there, should we be talking about having a replacement already when he hasn't been able to defend himself?
Capacity. It's an acting capacity. That's our constitution. There cannot be any vacuum. So once we suspend, it's for a month, you know, and if within that period the disciplinary committee says no, he has no case to answer, he comes back, he's reinstated. But if what is the disciplinary committee says he has questions to answer or whatever measure of punishment is meted out to him, he takes it. But in the absence of the chairman, somebody must be acting, you know, because the person that is next to him is state deputy chairman, who cannot assume the position of acting chairman unless the state executive committee, you know, declares to that effect. So I have not passed any judgment on him that he cannot come back. I didn't say so. I only said that in this circumstance, the deputy chairman acts in his place.
Okay, educate me like a child, really. Which is more powerful, the state body or the national body? Because from what I saw of the statement, the national body is saying that there are going to be disciplinary actions against, you know, anybody who participates in suspending the chairman who they insist remains chairman. So are you afraid that the national body is going to step in for, you know, punitive or disciplinary measures, and in what form does your constitution stipulate that this would be?
Now, what we are talking about is a political party. It's not a military formation. You understand? It's not a military formation. There is a National Working Committee, there is a State Working Committee. By way of hierarchy, the National Working Committee is superior to the State Working Committee. But each of these organs of the party have constitutional backing. We have duties that are assigned to us by the Constitution. We have duties assigned to the National Working Committee by Constitution. So when the National Committee Secretary said that we needed to take action, I said, no, that's not the provision of our Constitution. What you have said is just your opinion. That's not the position of our Constitution. And I said that clearly. So we are deriving our power from the Constitution. They derive theirs from the Constitution as well. So it's not as which was more powerful. No, they are all organs of the party, even though graded, one higher than the other. But it's not a military formation whereby, okay, when the general is talking, so the captain must keep quiet. No, I'm talking about a political party. Each level has some function. There is a local government executive committee whose functions are different from mine. You know,
okay. I'm going to let that slide and go to issues about the people who are impacted by the actions that are taken by parties like yours, and that's the people. Collectively, what are you doing as a state chapter to ensure that this crisis, as it is being described, does not affect the party's effective participation in what you described earlier as polls that are going to be coming up? What actions are you taking to ensure that this situation will be resolved? And how soon do you expect, if it is to remove and get a new chairman, will this take a long time? Or are you going to use an acting chairman until the elections are over?
Well, I like the word you use, situation. It's not crisis. It's not the crisis situation at all. What we have now is maybe a political development that is being addressed. You know, so it's not like there is a crisis. No crisis. It's not. If there is a crisis, the people will not be jubilating. A lot of people have been calling for the chairman to remove all this while, and we just said no, we cannot be removed. Let us be along. But if certain things which he did recently are anything to go by, that is, we just could not longer allow him to continue because we have seen the hand of the APC in his own activities, and so he has to come and clear himself before a disciplinary committee. And if you talk about timelines, I believe very strongly that in the next 1-2 weeks, highest 3 weeks, all this would have been laid to rest. For example, he has 48 hours to 1 week, I think, to appear before the disciplinary committee. So in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, all this must have been laid to rest. So it's not going to affect the party in any way in terms of preparing for election. not in any way. If anything, it's going to energize the party. And I've also told the National Working Committee that if they want to know what's going on, they should send people to come to Ondo State.
Okay, I'm told we have 2 minutes, but I'm going to try again to get a response from you. Is there a law that is against saying what anti-party activities somebody is accused of? Or can you tell us, give us a quick sneak peek at some of the anti-party activities that has necessitated his suspension so that the people can judge for themselves if the suspension is valid? If you can do that in 40 seconds, that would be great.
Okay, in clear terms, the State Working Committee, based on a 20-man committee report, decided that there's going to be a consensus so that the party does not go into a very rancorous party primaries to select a candidate for the Akoko Northwest Federal Constituency by-election. But the chairman, on his own, alone, decided that he's going to go contrary to the working committee decision and against the decision of the 20-man committee. And it was clear that his actions were propelled or were influenced by the opposing party. So what else are we expected to assume? But because we cannot crucify him without trying him, let the disciplinary committee take the cases, take the suggestions, take the queries, and let him answer for himself. Then the matter will lay to rest.
Kennedy, thank you very much for speaking with us. We appreciate your time, and we certainly hope that you resolve the issues and get back to work serving the people. Thank you.
Thanks so much.